Hey y'all, what's up? Jamie, that's me here. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to a conversation about a real missing woman that I want to talk about. And her name is Allisha Wise. I actually saw this story earlier this week and I meant to talk about it, but somebody ended up putting it in my comment section. I believe it was on yesterday. So I was glad that they did because he gave me a reminder to go ahead and talk about this woman's story. Okay. And I do have quite a few notes, okay, that I did take that I want to go over from what I capture, and then we'll get into some news stories. Okay. But I just wanted to make sure that I cover Allisha Watts' story. Okay. This beautiful woman. Actually, I'm going to blow her picture up just a second here so that you guys can actually see, like, get a good look of her at this time. Okay, these are a variety of photos of Miss Allisha Watts. I know you see one guy in the photo, and that happens to be her boyfriend. And I think that he is very significant, in my opinion, to this case. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to get into Allisha's story. All right, so they're saying that Allisha Watts is a 39-year-old woman from North Carolina. Okay, she went missing on July 16th when she was traveling to Charlotte to see her boyfriend. And I do believe that his name is James Dunmore. Okay. 39-year old woman from North Carolina. Now, she was from one county of North Carolina and he was from another county. Okay. And I think that that's also important too. So let's get into the details. Allisha Watts is involved in several organizations. This is what the family shared during a press conference. She's involved in several organizations. She has her own business. Okay. So she's her own entrepreneur. She's involved with the church. She also, with her business, is called Inspired Visions Support Services. Okay. And they provide disability services. I believe they provide a lot of other services as well, aside from disability. But Allisha was doing her thing, running her own business and being extremely active in the community and being very supportive to her family and her friends as well. So she sounds like a very remarkable woman to me. Now, according to Allisha's sister, who goes by the name of Shakita, and I hope I said that correctly, the last time that anyone saw her was on July 16th in the company of her boyfriend, James Dunbar. And this was just before she went missing. Okay. Now, they're saying that authorities found evidence suggesting that Allisha's phone had been pinged at James' house. Okay. Now, she done went on a trip. She about to go hang out with her man. I do believe that this is a fairly new relationship. Okay. She's about to take a trip, hang out with him. He like the last person to really see her. And I believe her family members were like the last ones to possibly hear from her. All right. But I also believe from what I read and what I was listening to, he didn't stay too far from one of her relatives, though. I think one of her relatives could have lived in his neighborhood or something like that. But they're saying that he was her phone pinged at his residence right before she vanished. Okay, right before she went missing. I need y'all to understand, it's been about 2 weeks since this lady has been gone. All right. Now they're saying that she was supposed to go on this trip. She met with this man on July 16th, the last time anybody saw her, heard from her. Okay. We are now on July 27th. So it has been 2 weeks. And what pisses me the most is, and I understand how processes and cases go. I do get that. But when I hear people's case, it's never not frustrating, right? That the family is not really getting any answers. Okay. There are more details that has come out regarding this case, but the family really isn't getting any more details. And the reason why this irritates me just a bit, and I understand they got to do their investigation. They got to ask questions, all of that. But I'm thinking about Kiara Cole, and a lot of people may not know about this young woman. I believe she was out in Chicago. She was a postal worker. She was pregnant. She ended up going missing. And I'm just learning more details about her story itself. And this happened quite a few years ago. But my problem is the fact that the family still ain't got no assistance. Still ain't got no help. And it's years later, still ain't got no help. And then they sit up here talking about it's still an open investigation. Is anybody working? Hello, are you there? Is anybody working? Okay. But let's keep going, all right, and get back to, we might talk about Kiara Coles in a at a separate time. I'm not sure. I think Leah Gordon, I hope I said her name correctly, did a great job on the video that she has out. So we might talk about Kiara if I learn additional, like new details, which I have been. So we might talk about that later. But in terms of Allisha Watts, all right. Allisha Watts went away for the weekend with her boyfriend in Charlotte, North Carolina. She was planning on seeing a comedy show, from my understanding. And I believe one of her family members said that she didn't attend that comedy show. So when they realized she didn't attend that comedy show was when they decided to call and report her as missing. Okay. What else do I have here? They're saying that Allisha's family hasn't heard from her, like I said, since July 16th. She wasn't responding to texts nor phone calls, and I do believe her family then reported her missing, at least by the 17th. Okay, she was reported missing. Now the weird thing is that Allisha's a black Mercedes, because that is the vehicle that they drove down to wherever they were headed to. When Allisha was getting ready to go spend the weekend or whatever with her boyfriend or hang out with him or whatever, they were in her car. Okay, make note of that. They were in her car, and they're saying that Allisha's the black Mercedes that was seen traveling in on that weekend with her boyfriend James Dunbar was found by the 18th. So the last time they heard from Allisha was the 16th. By the 17th, I do believe that she was reported missing. Right, by the 18th, the police have found the vehicle. All right. Now, when they found this vehicle, it was in a completely separate county than where Allisha was traveling from. Completely separate county from where she was traveling from. And they're saying that when they got to this vehicle, they found the boyfriend, not Allisha, but they did find the boyfriend in the vehicle. Okay, he was in the vehicle and he was at the DMV. He was at the Anson County DMV, sitting in the parking lot in her car, unresponsive. Now, what unresponsive mean, I don't know, because when I think about Carly situation, the mother said that Carly came into the house unresponsive. But when the police got there, she was talkative. So I don't know, was he high, inebriated? Like, what was really going on with him? Or was he unresponsive because he wasn't willing to answer any of you all's questions? And I know if I was a family member, that's what the hell I would want to know. When you say unresponsive, what you mean? And I just feel like, I understand that y'all are not, like, you guys are investigating this case and stuff like that. But if you're not going to give a press conference to the public to let them know what you're doing, the least y'all could do is allow the family members to come in. Y'all sit with them and answer the questions that you can answer with these people. Okay, because I don't believe the family has heard anything from the police since they picked this guy up. When they found this guy, he was unresponsive in her vehicle. They did take him to the hospital, from my understanding, and I do believe that he was apprehended from there. Okay, so he is still under arrest from what we know of at this time, and I do believe that his home has been investigated. Okay, I do believe that police were at his home as early as probably this morning, and I do have a news clip. We're going to get into that. Okay, but I just wish that they would at least try to have a conversation with the family in some fashion, but I mean, I don't know how their process works. And then that's another thing, right? I mean, at least explain to them how this is going to go. What is you all's process? This is what happens when we typically get these cases, just so you guys understand, yada, yada, yada. About, you know what I'm saying? Just explain that process to them, but it seems like after they picked him up, they just went silent. And I know I would feel the same way they feeling, like, okay, so this happened on the 18th. We about to be 10 days in. We're about to be 10 days in. You mean to tell me y'all ain't got an ounce of information in 10 days? I guess, honey. Let's keep going. Now, as I said, Allisha been missing for at least 2 weeks at this point. And of course, her family and friends are extremely worried, as they should be. Like, this is not normal behavior for their family member. And it's hard to not think the worst, when a lot of situations like this involve like the boyfriend and stuff. So, the family is continuing to keep hope alive. And I definitely have hope that she's going to be found alive. Okay, let us pray that she is somewhere waiting for people to just find her and just locate her, and that she is still, breathing, and she's alive, she's still here. But yeah, that's the biggest thing. The family wasn't really gonna go public. It seems like they were trying to give the police the opportunity to do the proper investigation that they need to do. But the police, after arresting this young man, after this man is in custody, right, the family has not received any answers about the disappearance, what they plan on doing with him, or any of that. And I also was reading articles where it seems as though so I read one article that was saying that they pinged her location of her, using the GPS within her car, which is how they found the vehicle at the DMV. But then I'm hearing that them finding him had nothing to do with the Allisha case, which is very odd. Okay. So I read two different news articles reporting two different things. Okay. One said that they pinged her vehicle, which they found it at the DMV. That's where they located him unresponsive. And another one is saying that it had nothing to do with Allisha. They were doing just a separate, search or whatever. Maybe somebody called and reported a man that was in the vehicle unresponsive. Once they got there, they didn't arrest him under suspicion of a missing person or anything like that. They literally arrested him for something different, which appears to be, alcohol or whatever the whole unresponsive, his state of being. And then they took him to the hospital. And then from there, he's still locked up. Maybe they couldn't arrest him on suspicion of a missing person or anything like that because they don't know for sure that he has any involvement, but they needed to at least arrest him for something so that they're able to question him about the other case, which is the Allisha case. So whatever it is, I just hope that y'all are doing y'all job while y'all got this man in custody. And I don't know if this man could have possibly secured an attorney to where he's not willing to talk to law enforcement about anything. Like, you just don't know. And I feel like if the family doesn't know, these are things that they would need to know, right? That's what I would think. Sometimes when I guess people are investigated, they don't want to like let too much out in the public. They want to keep it real close to their vest, but that's kind of hard when you have somebody's family member that's still out here missing and they still seeking answers and stuff. So y'all need to tell them people something, okay? The family wasn't even gonna say nothing, but the fact that y'all not giving them answers is why they are deciding to come to the public about it, and they're starting to apply pressure. And I feel like the family would really get answers if people hopped on this case the same way they hopped on that Carly case and made it a viral thing, a bigger thing, and start calling down there to the police station and all of that, forcing them to, give some type of answers or whatnot. So, that's what I'm thinking. I really hate that this is happening. I really hope they find her. I hope they find her like real soon. I don't know if the guy is talking, if the guy's not talking. But whatever it is, I hope they get some answers real soon. But I do want to pull up some news stories real quick that we can check out together and just get some of the updates on them. I'm going to pull up a news article real quick. And I think that I'm going to read that one first, and then we'll check out exactly, what the news report is saying. Okay, so let's get this one up on the screen. And let's remove that. All right. They're saying a missing woman's car was found with unresponsive boyfriend at Anson County DMV. All right. At the DMV, y'all, a car belonging to a woman reported missing from Charlotte was being driven by her boyfriend when troopers found it, according to her family and the Anson County's sheriff's office. Troopers said they found an unresponsive man on July 18th. Okay. This is exactly 1 week. All right. It's about to be exactly 1 week ago. Now, in the parking lot of the Anderson DMV office, and it's along Highway 74 for the people that's over in that area, he was taken to a local hospital, and the car he was driving was left at the DMV. So, but I do believe since that time, let's see when this article could have been published, on the 25th. So this was like 2 days ago. So at that time, I believe that they might have the vehicle at this time, as they've arrested him and likely connected him, God hopefully connected him to this case. Okay. So hopefully they got that figured out. Now, the next day, Allisha Watts. See, here's the other thing too that I want to say. Okay, here's the other thing. Let me say this. When I think about other missing cases, right? Because I think this could have happened with the Phoenix Colden situation. And I think about her like from time to time, always wondering where the hell is Phoenix Colden. But I feel like if things happen in different counties, it's kind of hard sometimes for those counties to communicate, because if a person is reported missing in that county and then you got a whole nother county, they may not know what's happening in that county. And I think that's what happened with the Phoenix Colden case. When she went missing, I think she was in a different county. So when her car was found on the side of the road, they ended up taking her car and impounding it or whatever the case is called, right? But I think her family may have taken some time trying to find that car, because one county didn't know that she was missing, and another, it wasn't much communication, right? So now I'm wondering based on him being arrested in Anderson County, I'm wondering if the family reported her missing in Moore County. Like, what county did they really report her missing in? Because it could be an issue where you guys may not have answers because of the counties not communicating. And I could be so far off base, but I'm just saying what's coming to my head, okay? Because I don't have all of the details. It's just things that's just popping up in my head as we're continuing to talk about this woman's story. All right, so let's go ahead and let's keep going. All right. So they're saying that the next day, Allisha Watts was reported missing to the Charlotte Mecklenburg Police Department. Family members told police she was last seen on July 16th in Charlotte. All right, so let's keep going. Now, her family said that Watts, 39, of Moore County, was last seen leaving her boyfriend's home in University City. Detectives said he was the man they found in her car. All right. He was the man that they found in her car. So they must have pieced everything together at this point. Okay. Now, the police department will not say whether he is a person of interest or a suspect. Let me tell y'all something that pisses me off a little bit. If y'all have the identity of what this man looks like, he's definitely a person of interest. Why you guys are not at least saying that is a problem to me. Now, anybody that may be a detective, has worked in being a detective investigating crimes, explain that to me down in the comments, and the other people too, because I'm just a little confused as to why he not even labeled as a person of interest. So by today, somebody need to be labeling him as a person of interest, because duh, if the family is confirming that this is indeed the man that they last saw her with, and you don't found this man in somebody else's vehicle and he's unresponsive, if you're not going to say that he's a suspect because you don't have all the details, he is at least a damn person of interest. Like, come on now, let's not be dumb about this. Let's keep going. So then they say, then on July 20th, 2 days after finding the car, the Anderson County Sheriff's Office learned about Watts' missing person report. Interesting. See, didn't I just tell y'all this? I feel like I just told y'all this. Like, at first, when they arrest people and stuff, I see why one of those news articles was saying that his arrest kind of had nothing to do with what was going on with Allisha, because they probably weren't communicating. But then I guess after they did their proper investigating and proper research, then they learned, because he was arrested on the 18th. They said on July 20th, 2 days after finding the car, the Anderson County Sheriff's Office learned about Watts' missing person report. They also learned that the car at the DMV was registered to Allisha. So they probably did a registration. They probably, looked up the vehicle, see who owned the vehicle, see if he is the owner of the vehicle. Once it was reported that he was not the owner of the vehicle and it's Allisha, they probably was going to call Allisha and be like, hey, we got your car or something. But then as they did more search and ran her through the system, they likely found like, oh, she's actually missing. Okay. That's a possibility as well. But let's go ahead and see what else they have to say here. Deputies searched the car and the surrounding area for Watts, but were unable to find her. All right. The car was towed to the Charlotte Mecklenburg Police Department for processing. Family and friends are growing more desperate to learn what happened to Watts. They searched along Rural Road, different areas. Okay. Stephanie Johnson, a close friend, wouldn't say what led them there, but they are looking for any sign of her. Okay. They are out here still trying to find their loved one. And let me tell you something. This woman's so loved by the community. These people got them a whole bus, honey. And all of them got on that chartered bus and they took that right over there to Charlotte, because they over there trying to get them some answers and find out what the hell is really going on. Okay. So I shout out to them, because a lot of people aren't able to do that. Okay. So I just wanted to get into that. And in the meantime, I do want to check out this news report on this. So let's go ahead and make that big and let us get into it.
And developing tonight, the disappearance of this woman is growing even more puzzling as detectives release more details in the case of Allisha Watts.
We first reported last night. Her family says the 39-year-old was last seen on July 16th at her boyfriend's home in University City. Today, detectives in Anson County said that 2 days later, they found Watts' boyfriend passed out in her car at the DMV in Polkton.
This morning, we learned some big news from Anson County detectives. They say it was 1 week ago from today here at the DMV in Anson County. They say they found Allisha Watts' boyfriend passed out in her Mercedes. Her loved ones were here today searching for answers. Family and loved ones of Allisha Watts were searching along this rural road near Wadesboro today. Her friend, Stephanie Johnson, wouldn't say what led them here, but they are looking for any sign of her.
The family misses her Her father and her mother are looking for her desperately. Her sisters, her friends. We just want Allisha home.
Allisha, who is from Moore County, was last seen in Charlotte on July 16th, leaving a home on Pamela Lorraine Drive, University City. Her family says that's where her boyfriend lives. CMPD says he's not considered a suspect or a person of interest, so we are not going to say his name. Today, I learned from Anson County deputies that last Tuesday, July 18th, investigator found her boyfriend unresponsive in Allisha's Mercedes SUV in the parking lot at this DMV along Route 74. It was the next day that Allisha's family reported her missing. Then on July 20th, the Anson County Sheriff's Office learned about Watts' missing person report. Her friends say they just learned these details today through our reporting.
I was amazed because the police was not bringing the family up to speed as to what really is going on or where they were at in the investigation.
CMPD, they are leading this investigation. I asked, and they say as of now, the boyfriend is not being called a person of interest or a suspect in this case. I did ask CMPD if they questioned him. They said that is something that they are not confirming as of today. In Anson County, Dan Maddox, Channel 9, Eyewitness News.
Here's another look at Watts. Call police if you know anything about her disappearance. We've also posted her picture on our WSOC app. There we'll post any new details that we learn in this.
All right, you guys. So y'all just pretty much heard
Academy
everything.
over 100 on tomorrow and Saturday.
Yeah, that y'all just pretty much heard it. Everything when it comes to what's going on. I think that's messed up that a lot of the family didn't even know what the hell was going on with the case, but the news department know. The news people know, and that's how they found out some of the details by talking to the news people. So they gained some of the details through the reporting. So y'all feel like it's y'all more obligated to share with the news than y'all are with her family. I would think that they on the same level. Yeah, the public wants to know what's going on. Okay, so definitely make sure you share with the public. But more importantly, the main people that's the one that's asking y'all for answers are the family members. So why not, share that as well? But I do want to get into another thing as well. So let me go ahead and share that one too with you guys. And we'll get into that one because this is where I do believe that they got a chance to actually investigate the home that the boyfriend was living in. And this is just what's crazy to me, right? It's a bit crazy to me because y'all are doing all of this movement, but y'all not telling the family nothing. And I just feel like they should know a little bit of something, guys, something. Even if we don't know if he's a suspect, but the proper protocols for us is when we get cases like this, we do like at least explain the process to these people. Like, I just don't like that. Like, it's one conversation when you have, when we talk about, Black people, Black women and men cases, missing cases not being as worldwide, okay, in the way that Carly's case was. It doesn't get that much attention, right? But then at the same time, it's another layer to when how they handle these cases and how they handle the family when these cases come to the front. I feel like that's just like a big problem. And I do feel like if they would have had the energy, or if they were to gain the energy that Carly's family had, then as people blow up the police department and it makes it to a larger news station, that's when they're going to really start applying pressure. I know it shouldn't be like that, but unfortunately, that's the way that it is. Okay, you have to put additional eyes on them to make them do their job. You got to micromanage them by having people blow up their damn lines in order for them to do their jobs or whatever. But let's go ahead and just get into this story and see what they may have learned or whatnot today. So let's check this out.
We start with breaking news in the search for Allisha Watts. Right now, Charlotte-Mecklenburg police detectives are searching the home where Watts was last seen more than a week ago. Friends say that this is the home where her boyfriend lives. Here's the latest. Watts was last seen on July the 16th. Her car was found 2 days later in Anson County with her boyfriend unresponsive inside the vehicle.
CMPD has not said if he is a suspect or a person of interest in their investigation. Tonight, though, officers are going in and out of his home. Channel 9's veteran crime reporter Glenn Counts is live along Pamela Lorraine Drive near that home tonight.
And Glenn, what have you seen so far out there from the officers?
Well, I could tell you it has been very busy out here. I'm going to step out of the way so you can see a little bit of what's been going on behind me. Now you can see the patrol cars here, and the house, this blue house, is the house in question. Of course, they have the front door closed at this point, so we can't really see what they're doing. But what I have seen, since we've been out here, I've seen investigators going up and down the stairs, crime scene searches in there. Investigators with the missing persons unit are heading this up, and they are also in the backyard. Now, from what we are being told, this search is not based on any sort of specific information. It is sort of to cover all of your
No.
basis sort of investigation.
I have to stop him right there. I feel away. So y'all just go to people's house and just, cover. Like, what did he say? Let me make sure I get this right.
Sort of to cover all of your basis sort of investigation.
Y'all took y'all to this man's house to go and do all this research or whatever to say that it's only to cover your fucking bases. Girl, what? Girl, what? Only to cover bases? No, I feel like y'all went out there for a particular reason. And I also want to know if the man, hopefully he talks about this. I don't know if he's going to get to it. I hope he do. If he doesn't, these are my questions. When you saw these people, first of all, how many officers or detectives how many detectives, individuals did you see enter the home? And with that also being said, as they were coming out, did you see them transporting certain items? Were there any packages? Did you see anything in their hands as they were leaving? What vehicles outside of the home can be identified? Here's another thing. And I don't know if this is a common thing, but the police are pulling up to this man's house in the wee hours of the morning, in the late night, to do this investigation, which to me also makes me think that they are not trying to bring a lot of attention to this, and they're trying to keep this case, I don't know, I feel kind of sealed a little bit. And that makes me feel away because you see that the family is over here asking for answers. They chartered a whole bus to come down there to, put their foot on y'all necks to get some type of answers. And I do believe that they were given some type of statement. What was in that statement, I don't know, because I did see another news story where they were saying that they have given a statement to the immediate family or something like that. But I don't know what was in it or whether that statement was even enough, because y'all are still reporting that this person is not a person of interest. So what is it? But y'all are doing this search late at night. Y'all could have waited till the morning, but y'all doing this. It's just suspicious to me. And again, if you have worked in scenes like this, please educate us down below in the comments so we can understand how the process works. And maybe the process is different from county to county, city to city, state to state, or whatever, right? But I do have a few questions. How many officers or detectives was it? What type of vehicles did you see outside of the home? And as they were exiting the home, did you see them leaving out with any bags of evidence? That's just what I want to know.
This missing persons investigation is obviously very, very complicated, and that certainly limits what police can say about it. This is the kind.
It don't seem that complicated to me. What makes it so complicated? Is it complicated because he's not talking? Or did he tell y'all a little bit of evidence and then y'all are going to search for that evidence so that when you approach her family, you have all of the details in front of you? What's what?
The police work that's easy to see and appreciate. An officer in uniform doing his or her duty. But experts say in a high-profile missing persons case, it's completely different.
That's much more likely to happen out of public sight. It's a lot of phone calls. It's a lot of tracking down various pieces of information, cell phone records or social media records or bank records.
Dr. Seth Stoughton is a nationally renowned policing expert at the USC School of Law.
And one of the most dangerous things that you can do in an investigation is make an assumption and operate solely on the basis of that assumption.
Allisha Watts was last seen on July the 16th. She was reported missing on the 19th, which is the day after her car was found in Anson County with her boyfriend inside. Anson County deputies say he was unresponsive.
Your circle of suspects starts pretty tight. Who is in the closest relationship with the missing individual?
Police won't see if the boyfriend is a suspect or a person of interest, but sources say that all options are on the table. On Wednesday, Allisha's friends and members of the National Racial Justice Network for Civil Rights called on police to do more to find her and share more information about the case. Stoughton says one good reason for not doing that is so that leaks don't hurt the case.
If they don't know they have to hide, they may not be hiding as well as they might.
One of the criticisms leveled at CMPD is that they didn't go public with the case right away.
Absolutely. Time is of the essence, and families know, when something is out of character.
Derica Wilson is the co-founder of the Black and Missing Foundation. She says a lot of law enforcement agencies around the country need to do a better job of investigating missing persons cases involving people of color.
We know that there is a lack of trust when it comes to law enforcement and the minority community. And, oftentimes the minority community feel as if they're not heard.
Now, Wilson is a former police officer herself, and she says that she was not leveling any specific criticism at CMPD, but she does believe that agencies should go public with missing persons cases as quickly as humanly possible.
Yeah.
Reporting live in
I
the
agree.
University area, Glenn Counts, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
Great to get all those different points of view there, Glenn. Thanks for digging into this, and thank you for that breaking.
All right, y'all. So I just wanted to come to y'all real quick, give you guys details on Allisha's case. All right. This is a missing post that I did come across. So if you guys have any details or anything, it looks like the Detective Childers is the person to reach out to regarding this case, or you could do your own search regarding Allisha Watts, and then I'm sure that there will be other ways to get in contact with someone should you have any information or details regarding this woman's case. But it's just real weird, real crazy to me. That report that we just watched about them searching the home, that was dropped early this morning. So with that being dropped early this morning, y'all still labeling this person as not a person of interest? I mean, I do understand what the guy was saying, because I did kind of mention that maybe they wanted to get all their ducks in a row before they approach the family or even approach him with certain charges and stuff. And I understand that sensitivity to a case. But at the same time, girl, it's giving him a person of interest. So I wish I knew the law that was standing in the way of y'all at least labeling him as that. All right. But that's all that I have at this time. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts and comments regarding this situation down below. Not sure if you guys have heard anything about this case or not, but definitely leave your thoughts and comments down below. Okay. I'm Jamie. That's me. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Jamie. That's me. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.